Looking at her courtroom notes, Chelsea Hamill says nothing at this point surprises her.
You know, I've been told at this point the trial has gone to like a whole new level of wow.
Her father, O. Scott Drexler of Boise, is charged as an armed follower of Clive and Bundy in this 2014 stand against the government. Defense attorney Todd Leventhal says the government's claims against his clients don't match what happened.
They all talk about guns being pointed at the officers. Not one video shows a gun being pointed at anybody.
Prosecutors have called dozens of witnesses and shown hours of news reports, including a video federal agents made posing as documentary filmmakers interviewing protesters now on the stand.
Whenever they interview, generally, people who they think are part of a crime, they read them the Miranda rights and they tell them, listen, if you want to talk to us. Not in this case. In this case, they set up this complete deceptive tactic to go out there and continue it.
Leventhal's clients are facing charges of conspiracy to commit an offense against the U.S., aiding and abetting, and other counts. He says Drexler's trip to Nevada wasn't violent.
He came down to help people, and I believe it. He didn't come down here to shoot anybody or to intimidate anybody. He came down because he saw the BLM overreaching again.
Hamill waits in Boise and worries about her father's future.
It's really, really nerve-wracking because you just don't know. And all these, these men are facing years and years and years in prison. And they've already spent over a year in prison without a conviction.
Leventhal says jurors have seen plenty of images like this, but he can't get a read on how they'll lean.
There are at least 3 jurors that hopefully dig in for Scott and dig in hard. And there's probably 3 or 4 that are going to dig in for the BLM and for the government.
Leventhal expects closing arguments to begin before the end of this week and hopes jurors won't deliberate long.
I hope that Scott Drexler, Mr. Parker, and Mr. Stewart are in Idaho by next week. Back in Idaho, back with their families, back living their life, because that's where they should be.
Something Hamill says she's ready for.
It's been really hard. My son is just turned 1 in February, and he hasn't met his grandpa yet. So that's been really hard. So we just want to bring him home.
Leventhal says he will not be calling Scott Drexler to the stand. If convicted, Drexler faces 101 years in prison. If found not guilty, he could be home in Idaho by next week.